Hi everybody and welcome back to another Legends of Runeterra video and gameplay. So we just got kind of the newest card reveals and we're going to go through them right now. Looks like it could be pretty interesting. So right off the bat we are getting the Bilgewater Landmark, a 3-cost card. So the Vaults of Helia I believe was a 5-cost. This is a 3-cost called the Slaughter Docks. Round start, toss 1. If you are deep, destroy me to summon a random sea monster. Alright, so this is just a further, I guess, deep enabler. Yeah, it works with Maokai and with Nautilus, which is cool because we have missed out on a little bit of variability in play with those style of decks. I've said this in the past, I'm not a huge fan of deep deck just because it kind of seems like you're locked into the same play style. So adding cards to that archetype is actually really interesting, and I enjoy that sort of thing because yeah, these landmarks seem like they're a good way to shake up, I guess, the way that we build decks. And this I don't think is going to be an exception. So it's pretty cool. And then as soon as you go deep, you destroy this card and you summon a random sea monster. So this basically is giving you value. Value as you play it to toss cards, and then you're going to get a sea monster that could potentially be a very powerful unit that you can use to help win the game. So yeah, this 3-cost card as an investment seems like it would be pretty good. Yeah, depending on your opening hand as well, it like maybe you don't even play this if you got a lot of drag dredgers or jettisons, or like other toss card mechanics that are going to allow you to level up fast. So just like not even play this card. So I mean, that could be a potential drawback, is if you have cards already that are just better for tossing, maybe you don't play this. If you are deep, destroy me to summon a random sea monster. So I think as well, if you're already deep and you draw this card and you play it, it seems like you'll automatically summon a random sea monster. Not sure about that, but that's how I kind of see it. So a 3-cost sea monster once you're deep, which seems like okay value. Alright, let's keep going. Alright, an 8-cost card from Bilgewater. Sunk cost. Shuffle a unit or landmark into its deck. This is kind of vague. I'm trying to understand what this means. So shuffle a unit or landmark into its deck. So I understand what it's saying, but I don't know if this is targeting you or your opponent. I imagine it's your opponent, right? Like, why would you ever use it on yourself? But that's kind of just a weird way to word this card. Yeah, so I guess this is pretty much hard removal, kind of like Riptide. If you've got Nautilus on the board, you can use Riptide and it will shuffle that card back into the deck, remove it from play. So this seems kind of like an 8-cost card that does the same thing. Keep in mind this is a slow card, and it looks like you could counter it easily with Spell Shield. So I don't know how good this card is actually going to be. Slow cost spells in general are kind of hard to get off, and it's 8 mana, and so this could be a very difficult card to play. It does have a powerful effect because it does essentially remove that card from the game. One thing to keep in mind though is that once you get kind of to later phases of the game, and depending on what deck you're going against, the enemy is going to have fewer cards in their hand or in their deck, and so it's going to be easier to draw that card again. Pretty solid removal. 8 cost does seem like a bit. This does work with Behold cards at the moment. Yeah, an 8-cost card from Bilgewater that could potentially synergize with Behold and with things like Trundle decks. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Alright, on to the next card here. So, Lounging Lizard. So now we're kind of getting into what I believe are Tahm Kench's sort of follower cards. Lounging Lizard is elusive, and then at the round start, so every round start, you're dealing 2 damage to this Lounging Lizard. And as we kind of have predicted, I think that Tahm Kench is going to synergize somehow with Soraka in the healing cards. And so there's probably going to be a way to mitigate a lot of this damage that these cards are going to be doing to themselves. So this is a 3-cost 3/5 unit. So when you play it, it's going to remain 3/5 until the end of the round. So you're going to get, it's elusive too, so there's a good chance you're going to get 3 damage off with this. And it's a blocker as well, potentially for elusive units too, where it can take out quite a few of them. It's relatively low cost, and you're going to be dealing 3 damage each round it's alive. So it's going to, without any healing or without any self-healing properties from any other cards, it's going to survive 3 rounds without it getting without it being taken off the board. So if you play it on your attack phase, and you get 2 attacks out of it. If you play it on the defense phase, you're going to get 2 attacks out of it. I imagine this card is going to be better than what it looks like at the moment, just because I think it's going to be meant to be played with healing cards. So kind of hard to evaluate this without those other cards. Alright, 2 costs called Fortune Croaker. Play, deal 1 to me and an ally to draw 1. Yeah, this looks like it's got pretty good value actually, and could synergize very well in Swain decks. I actually like this card a lot. Fortune Croaker. Play, deal 1 to me and an ally, so you're proccing 2 damage onto you. This could work as a Swain level up condition. It could also work as a Vladimir level up condition. This could also work very well with Braum. So there's 3 champions that this card could work with, and then on top of that, you're going to be drawing a card as well. So pretty extreme value. Maybe this card could bring something like the Crimson Disciple back into play, along with Swain. I really like this card. I really like its abilities. So once you play it, you're going to drop down to a 2/2, which is fine for a true 2-drop. I believe that is going to also be drawing you a card. The one problem that I see with this is that because it's a true 2-drop, you do need a target to play this on, and then you probably want a target that's also going to survive. And so that kind of limits you on turn 2 if you haven't drawn a 1-drop. Then you're also going to probably not want to play this one either. I don't know if you're going to be able to get the draw 1 effect if you play this onto an empty board. That'd be kind of interesting to see. I kind of suspect that you won't, but this card seems like it synergizes very well. I bet it's going to also work well with Soraka and with the healing cards. So yeah, I give this card probably like an A+ at the moment. This seems like a really good card that has a ton of different ways to play it and seems really cool. Alright, Boxtopus. Alright, that reminds me of that Pokemon. Anyway, Boxtopus, a 2-drop, it's Challenger, and then play, you deal 3 to me. Alright, so 2-drop essentially comes out as a 3/1. You do get a damage effect onto it, so it looks like this could help level up Swain, level up Vlad, and then probably help to level up Soraka and Tahm Kench in some way when they're revealed. I'm not sure what that's going to be. So at the moment, if it's coming out as a 3/1, that is not the best as a 2-drop. Essentially, it's kind of like the Mountain Goat that was just barely buffed to a 3/2. It's really hard to get 2-drops off and get value out of them as a 3/1. I suspect, though, there are going to be ways to make sure that the Boxtopus can stay alive in this sort of archetype that we're creating here with dealing damage upon being played. So I imagine this card is going to be okay. It's hard to kind of evaluate it at the moment, though. Challenger is also good. Yeah, remember that's got Challenger as well. I kind of forgot to say that too. Challenger as well. So you can take out a pesky unit if you want as well. Alright, Christy Codger. This is a 1-drop. You play, deal 2 to me. So this is kind of the 1-drop of this archetype, which is nice because it's going to come out as a 2/2. So this is going to be a potential target for the Fortune Croaker. It's going to be able to survive it as well, which is nice. And so, yeah, deal 2 damage to me. So Tahm Kench is probably going to have some sort of level up condition where you have to deal a certain amount of damage to your units to level him up, to your own units, I'd imagine. So yeah, it could work well with Swain, Vladimir, Soraka, all those cards I said before. This seems like a solid 1-drop in the archetype. We'll see how to level up Tahm Kench though. Alright, 5-cost slow speed spell from Shadow Isles. This is called Crumble. Shadow Isles, just keep that in mind. Kill an ally to kill a unit or destroy a landmark. Alright, so this is kind of a tech card for landmarks. This is trying to keep them in check in case they're too strong. Which I think you do need in the game, especially with these sort of meta-defining cards that are going to be coming out in landmarks. I think they're going to be a very big part of the game, especially even if they're not powerful, which I think they will be powerful. You do need cards like this because players are just going to be overplaying them at the beginning of the expansion, and so you do want a way to tech them and make a way for them to be less, I guess, viable. And this is how they're doing it. Shadow Isles, kill an ally to kill a unit or destroy a landmark. This works really well with Last Breath units. This works really well with the Undying especially. Yeah, Commander Ledros, all these cards that come back at the end of the round or at the beginning of the next round. And Last Breath abilities seem like pretty low cost to play this card, especially if you get value out of killing your units. Even like it doesn't even specify the. It looks like you can choose. It doesn't specify the cost of the ally that you're killing, and so you can get pretty good value out of just killing a spiderling or something, or like an ephemeral unit, sapling, you know, anything, just to get this 5-cost spell off, and then get pretty good value out of taking out a landmark that could potentially be winning your opponent the game. So, yeah, this is a pretty good card. I think it's going to be included into a lot of Shadow Isles decks, especially at the beginning of the patch when everyone will be trying out landmarks. Alright, and I think that's it. Yep, that's everything for this little reveal video. I'm pretty excited. I want to see what Tahm Kench is like. I imagine we're getting the Tahm Kench reveal tomorrow, so we'll be able to see a little bit better how all these cards work with the new champion. Yeah, I imagine he's going to have a level up condition that allows him to level up once you've damaged your units a certain amount of times. I also like the continuation of the deep mechanic and archetype. I like it, including more cards that could be interesting, new ways to play decks that are somewhat stale and kind of linear in how they're played to begin with. So pretty happy with the cards that were revealed today, and yeah, I'll be super excited to see what they turn out to be like tomorrow. So yeah, anyway, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and we will see you tomorrow. Thanks.